It is officially almost autumn, aka fall, and I'll be doing a collective energy reading, and I'm going to be talking about the overall theme for the fall equinox, as well as sharing what to expect or what insights to consider for the early part of autumn slash fall, for the middle, and for late fall. So, if you are not familiar with me, my name is Wadjet, and I am here to provide intuitive guidance as well as several other things. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do that. And I'm going to dive right in. So, let's talk about fall. What is it representing for you? What's coming up for you, right? Do you have any goals in already that you've already kind of set in place when it comes to fall? Is this your favorite season? What's your favorite season? Is it fall? Is it winter? Is it summer? Is it spring? For me personally, fall is my favorite season. And one of the things to keep in mind with any turn of a season, whether it's a solstice or an equinox, is that there's always an opportunity to enhance or amplify any sort of transitions that are already happening in your life or that you're wanting to happen in your life. There's some things that you're kind of going to be dragged into the transition, and other ones you're willingly ready to kind of move forward with it. So this process and what's typically happening with the equinox or a solstice is amplifying those things. So there's something to keep in mind. Now let's go right into the theme. I've already pulled the cards. I haven't pulled the chakra card yet, but I want to talk about, before I go over the cards, one aspect of the fall that's been coming up when I went into some meditation and some channeling around this. Fall 2022 is all about the reset of your foundation. Let me say that again. Fall 2022 is all about resetting your foundation, doing the foundational work. Why is this a thing? This is the beginning of when most people start to fall off. And let me share with you why. Once fall hits, then it's basically Halloween. Then when it's Halloween, it's basically a new year. It's just like, what happens to that gap of time? There's all these extra distractions that come into place. There's all this stuff. Everything's really busy. It could be a little bit chaotic. There's a lot of activities. It could be fun too, right? This doesn't mean that chaos doesn't mean it's something that you don't enjoy, but there's just a lot going on, and it can oftentimes steer you away from your goals, your anything that you've been consistent with, and you can start to fall off track because of all the holidays, because of all the family gatherings, because of all the things going on. And this kind of carries on into winter. But if you start to set the tone here in the fall season, then you can set yourself up for better success going into the winter. Because what tends to happen is when the New Year's, when the Gregorian calendar of the New Year, I don't consider January to be the New Year. I consider spring to be the New Year. Whatever you feel is right for you, do your thing. But when it comes to the Gregorian calendar, then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, what happened to everything? Like, and then it's about to be spring, and then you're like, oh, well, all the stuff that I wanted to do, I didn't do it. It's like, what happened? Well, this is where it starts. Fall equinox is where that beginning phase of all the distractions and kind of falling into that weird time loop that happens in the holidays. This is when it starts to happen. So the focus and the overall theme is the foundational work. And this is the card for the overall theme. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And it's interesting we get the Knight, because the Knight is like the workhorse of the court cards. The Knight is doing most of the work, but we have the Pentacles, and the Pentacles represents Earth, the physical realm, right? We have It also represents money. It represents, I like to view Pentacles as also what you're doing with your time, right? How you're spending your time, your energy, your emotions. And if you look at the horse, this horse is not moving. And when you think of like the physical realm, or you think about Earth, what is Earth doing? What you start doing now and the work that you put in now, right? What is that going to transition or turn into later? So the word that's coming up here is the consistency. Where do you lack consistency? Where are you lacking that foundational structure that you need to build on? Because it's easy to start something, it's easy to end something, but to stay consistent with it is usually where we get stuck. And this is what is the focus for this, for fall equinox, for fall 2022. Don't forget to do the foundational work for whatever it is that you're wanting to focus on. Is it money? Is it business? Is it health? Is it relationships? Is it self-care, personal growth, home environment, family? Like what is that thing? Focus on the basics. Don't try to do all this extra stuff where, you know, all the fads and all like the, you know, these fun, quick, you know, get rich quick type of schemes, or let me do this 6-week, whatever. It's like, no, like what is one or two things that you need to do, or that you should be doing consistently, that you're not doing? And a lot of times it's easy to do it, but it's this preparing yourself to do it. So something to think about. Greetings, she about it. Greetings. Hello, Elevate. Glad to see you here. I'm glad you're tuning in. So yeah, I'm just wrapping up the theme. The overall theme for fall is setting the foundation, doing the foundational work. And I'm telling you, this is the time. Think about what happened for spring of 2022. Were you where you wanted to be, or were you wondering what the hell happened, right? If that's where you were at, this is where it begins. This is where you start to do the work now. You want that summer body, or whatever, you want them summer goals, you need to start doing the work now. You want to start traveling more, you want to save and do all that, you need to start setting the tone now, to start doing the consistent work, because this is where the distractions start. Okay, that's the overall theme here. And I'm going to pull a chakra card as well, and let's get into the chakra cards to focus on for fall. Been busy with planning my event this Saturday. Ooh, good luck with your event. Sending you good vibes that your event goes well this Saturday. This is what, your third? I know it's an annual event, right? Is this your third or fourth year? I don't remember. Come on, heart chakra. Now it's interesting bringing these two things together, the Knight of Pentacles and then the heart chakra, and how this comes together when it comes to this foundational work and setting the tone, and when it comes to fall. Because here's the thing, it's not about what you feel like doing. When it comes to consistency, you have to override your emotions. Does that make sense? You have to override your emotions, and you have to do, this is where some of the logic starts to take place. It's not always about what you feel like doing in the moment, but what is the desired end goal? And right now, this theme is calling for that end goal to being just consistent in doing the thing consistently. Doing the same thing consistently, whatever that is. And you're not always going to feel like doing it, but it's going to lead you to that end goal, to where that progress, those small bits of progress throughout the day or throughout the week and out the month, those things will build up. That's going back to the foundational work. And then you'll look up and then you'll be like, okay, now I have something to go on. Now I can see the changes. Now I can see the fruits of my labor, because you're doing the work consistently enough to see it. And you're not going to always see that in the beginning. So it's just something to keep in mind with that heart chakra. You're not always going to feel like doing it. And that's normal. It is normal. You have to override just the day-to-day emotions, like, oh, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. Okay, but when it comes to your long-term thing, that end goal, that thing that you desire, that's what you need to be focusing on. And that could be an easy thing to get in the way. And that's oftentimes what holds us back from being more consistent in certain things, because we don't feel like doing it, or we haven't established a habit of it yet, or we're not good at it yet. So we think that we're failing or that we're wrong. And it's like, no, you're not going to get good at the thing until you continuously do it and you learn from the stuff that you're doing consistently, and then you continue to get better. It's compound interest. So not just compound interest with money, but with time, with the things that you're doing, with developing new habits. That's where those things come into play. And just let me know when it comes to this overall theme, if you have any questions or how you're feeling, what your takeaway with this overall theme for fall. Oh, 5-year anniversary. Oh, because you skipped 2020, understandably so, but calling it volume 4. Love that. That's awesome. Greetings. Oh my gosh, how are you, ma'am? It has been a long time no see. It has been a long time no see. I hope you're doing well. So let's go into, so I did the overall theme. Now I'm going to talk about, I'm breaking down the season into early, middle, and the end of the season. So we're breaking down to like 3 quarters. So in the early part of fall, we have the Page of Swords. So this makes sense. We're talking about rank structure in the court cards. The page is like the novice. So whatever you are deciding to be consistent on, or that you're recommitting to being consistent on, right? Now you have to take a new perspective on that. And things are you're going to feel like the novice in certain things. You might need to explore, if whatever you've been doing and you haven't been doing that consistently enough, right? What about your mindset needs to change or evolve, or a new perspective that you need that can allow you to move more into developing that habit, or being more consistent, or changing things, adjusting things within your routine, right? So a lot of this is around the mindset and shifting your mindset. And it might feel new. You might need to take on a new, concept around it, or ideas, seeking advice around it, being in that learning stage, and being curious about who you are in this stage of your life. And I talk about that a lot. Like, who are you now in this stage of your life? What does that mean for you? The things that you were doing and the way that you were doing them before, or even now, that might not be in alignment with who you are right now. So here's an opportunity to look at things differently, to take on a new perspective, to be curious, and to explore. So sometimes you don't have, and don't overcommit to things either. Don't try to put, oh, okay, I'm going to do all 10 things and this is going to be my thing. Like, no, commit to 1 or 2 things. 1 or 2 things that you're going to try, explore, and do consistently. Try that. Don't add other stuff on there, because that just sets you up for failure. So when it comes to the foundational work, maybe it's just getting up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's saving an extra $10 a week. Whatever the thing is. Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe it's going out once a month with friends and being more social, trying something new. Don't try to overcommit yourself. So pace yourself, allow yourself to explore, see how you feel about it, explore who you are in these new experiences and these new situations. Because you're different. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So give yourself that opportunity. So you are going to be in that novice phase, but this is a great place to be because you get to explore and you get to learn. Allow yourself to learn who you are now and what you need now. Because sometimes, especially if you are wanting to obtain a goal that maybe you were successful at in the past, sometimes you're trying to do that in the same way that you did it in the past, but your circumstances are different now. So you can take on some of those habits and some of those efforts that worked, but if your circumstances are different, so let's say you had all this time for self-care or for working out or for traveling, but now you got a whole wife and kids at the house, or maybe you have a job now that you have more responsibilities than you did before. So the time that you had then and the responsibility that you had then, it's not the same now, right? So you have to take that into consideration. And maybe there was one or two things that really worked, and take that one thing that worked and then see how you can integrate it into the capacity that you have now. So that's the early part of fall. The middle of fall equinox, we have the Lover's card. What I love about this and how this shows up with the overall scope and the overall theme. This is about union. This is about connection and integration with yourself and in other relationships. But it definitely starts with you at the foundation of it. One thing that's coming up right now is self-love, self-love, self-love. What is that relationship? What's your relationship like with yourself? And is that relationship with yourself, how is that reflecting in your other relationships? Your other close, intimate relationships. And by intimate, I don't necessarily mean sexual, but that is included, right? Romantic relationships, intimate friendships, family. What's the reflection there? And some relationships will start to change and might need to adjust in the middle of this season. But part of this is you reconnecting with you and reestablishing that with yourself and allowing that to translate into your other relationships. Or even discovering new relationships. So I'm hearing dating. I don't know who here, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, is wanting to date or even be more social, be more interactive, right? Like whatever that is for you, just be mindful that your relationship with yourself is a reflection of there's always some reflection with how that shows up with other people. So don't forget to pour into yourself first so you can put yourself out there in a way, or allow yourself to be accessible in a way that doesn't drain you, that doesn't deplete you. And that's also, around this fall season and then going into winter, there's a lot of people-y stuff that happen because you have the upcoming holidays and all this other stuff going on. And that can also feel very draining. There could be some stress, some anxiety around that as well, is what's coming up. So if you're kind of in that state, like, this is an opportunity to reunite with self, pour into yourself first, so that way you have the capacity, and also create some boundaries around your relationships too. Why is this important? Because the foundation that you're wanting to establish and that you're wanting to be consistent in, you want to make sure that your relationships with self and with others are in alignment with that. If you're with someone or you're around someone that is continuously taking you away from those things that you are wanting to do and like they're more so like breaking the foundation versus like helping you build your foundation, then you might want to reevaluate how that relationship and the dynamic of that relationship, and how much you have access to them and how much they have access to you. But on the other side, if they're helping you build and they're inspiring you and they're doing the thing, like, then that's great. This is about alignment with the overall foundation, right? You don't want somebody that's helping you crumble, okay? You don't want that. You sabotage yourself enough. You don't need anybody else helping you, right? Let's go into the towards the end of fall. We have the Queen of Swords. So there's an elevation here, and I feel like there was a bit of a pattern here. Swords came up for those of you that tuned into the summer collective reading. The swords came up quite a bit in the summer collective reading. So let's just look at this. Let's look at the progression here. We start off with the Page of Swords, then we go Lovers, then we go into the Queen of Swords. So we have a progression, an ascension, and elevation from the Page, which is the novice, to the Queen, right? So there's this different level of responsibility, of accountability, of decision making, and that's something to pay attention to, right? So this Lovers card is definitely a turning point. So what's happening in the middle of fall will definitely be the turning point in how you're going to moving towards the end of fall. When it comes to you and how you present yourself to others. And what's really sticking out is how the Queen is positioned. So you see the Queen is looking in a different direction. You see that the Page is looking one way, the Queen is looking another way, right? And then look at the Lovers. They're facing each other, kind of facing up towards the Angel, right? So this is about like changing your viewpoint. I talked about the Page of Swords being more of, this is exploration, like new thoughts and perspective, curiosity. You're exploring who you are, right? And by the end of fall, there's the potential for at least one or two things that you are realizing or establishing a very significant or important boundary, or you're making a significant decision of how you present yourself, or a commitment that you make to yourself, or the boundaries that you have with other people, where it's just a very clean, clear cut, like, this is what it is, right? Like, this is what I'm doing for myself. And this doesn't mean that you're necessarily announcing it to the world, but you're making a clear decision. Whether it's an internal commitment, whether it's setting a boundary with other people, whether it's deciding not to be a doormat anymore and let people waste your time and take your energy, whether it's deciding that, okay, I'm about to stop bullshitting, and I'm going to start doing this thing I said I'm going to do, or I'm going to start saying no more, or I'm going to start saying yes more, right? And I'm hearing somebody needs to hear this. Stop overcommitting yourself. I talked about this earlier. Whoever needs to hear this, if this is you, I'm talking to you. If you want to let me know that it's you, you let me know. But stop overcommitting yourself. You need to make that decision right now. That's part of the problem. Commit to one thing, and that's it. Once you master the one thing and you have more confidence in the one thing, then you can add on other things. Stop overcommitting. Listen, somebody needs that keeps coming in, like, stop overcommitting. Like, that's one of the decisions. It's like, so pay attention and explore. What are you overcommitting to? What are you half-ass committing to? That's another thing. So when it comes to commitment to self and to honoring your word, I did a video here on the YouTube channel months ago. It talks about like lying to yourself and breaking promises with yourself, breaking yourself promises, or something like that. And I'll be sure to link it after this live stream. But sometimes we're not consistent and you're not being able to establish that foundation for that consistency and for the things, you're not doing it because you're half-ass committing, or you keep breaking promises with yourself, and then you don't even trust yourself anymore. And it's different from, yeah, you can fake the funk to people out to other people, but you know within you that you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it can be hard, right? To be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. When it's you talking to you, let's go back to the lover's card, right? when it's you talking to you, like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. And you'd be like, are you gonna do this? And then when you don't do it, it's just like, well, what's the consequence? Who's gonna know? You're gonna know, but nobody else is gonna know. But over time, that actually takes a hit on your self-worth and on how you value your word. And sometimes it'll show up in you overcommit to other people and doing stuff for other people because it's easier for you to keep your word to other people, because why? They hold you accountable. How do they hold you accountable? Because you don't want a bad reputation. You don't want to be that person that didn't follow through. Do you see what I'm saying? And I talked about that in that video, but that's what's coming up. So when it comes to those things, those personal commitments, what's that one thing that you want to do? That one thing that you want to commit to. Maybe it's something you've been, on and off the wagon with it. It's like, okay, no, I really want to do this. Whatever that one thing is, if you could pick one thing, what would that be that you would want to focus on for the fall season? Fall equinox reset, autumn reset. What is that? What would that look like for you? Right? What is that one thing? And sometimes, and some of you are being consistent to some degree, but you're not going all in. You're like playing around. What you playing around for? Now it's time to like go in a little bit, go in a bit more. So some of y'all's like you playing and you don't need to be playing no more. You see? So by the end of fall, you should have a very clear decision. There's some clarity there on how to move forward, what boundaries you're going to establish, what you're going to do, and how you're going to move forward. That's in alignment with the foundation that you set throughout the season, because this is going to lead you in the wintertime, and that's where it gets worse in the winter now. It gets worse. and by getting worse, I'm talking about the distractions and all the stuff that goes on with the holidays, whether you celebrate or not, right? There's still, you have family and friends, like the world, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, okay, there's all this stuff that goes on, and it just there's just a lot going on energetically. There's time, traveling is happening, a lot of family stuff and whatever. So it can be easy to get distracted. So this is the time to really do the work, to start the foundation now. So that's the overall. So the overall theme is we have the Knight of Pentacles and the heart chakra. And so one of the things just to be mindful of the heart chakra is when it comes to being consistent and establishing the foundation, you have to override your emotions and what you feel like doing. Oh, I don't feel like getting up at 5:30 in the morning. I don't feel like getting up, or I don't feel like setting my clothes out for the next day. I don't feel like prepping my food. I don't feel like not going out as much so I can save this money. I don't feel like updating my resume so I can start actually looking for a job or a different job because I hate the job that I'm at, right? Like whatever the thing is, right? I don't feel like it. It's easy to do. It's easy to just be on the wave and on the whim of your emotions. But what is the deeper desire? And what will the consistency, like the logic has to override the emotions. And you have to keep the focus needs to be on the deeper desire. And that's where that consistency where you don't want the heart, to just be mindful of the heart. Desire versus just being on the whim of what you feel like doing. Because when you're consistent with something, and when you're committed to something, you do it despite how you feel. You do it because you know that the consistency is going to help you build confidence. The consistency is going to help you learn more about who you are in this phase of your life. The consistency is actually going to give you more information on what to do next. So that is the collective energy reading. How are y'all feeling? Let me know what your takeaways are. I'm going to check out in the comments. And then for those of y'all that are still here, I didn't announce this before, but I will do three readings. If anybody has a question or a topic, if you want general or want to have a specific question, I will do 3 readings today. Resonates, you're going through that right now. My mother, who is listening for the first time. You're talking to me. Awesome, awesome. Committing to others and half-assing myself. That part. Come on now. I've been there too. And that lovers card doesn't have to be another person. Exactly. It could be self-reflection, loving on yourself and giving yourself that attention. Absolutely. And I feel like, and that part is so important, right? This your self-love, your self-worth. I also did a video and I shared my self-worth journey and how self-worth and self-love kind of they interact with each other. And sometimes we're so busy trying to just give and just be so external with the stuff, because we're trying to overcompensate. We're trying to compensate for what we're not giving to ourselves. And you are your greatest love affair. You are the greatest love of your life. Like, that's where to start. That's my philosophy on it, right? I am the greatest love of my life. And when I made that shift in my mindset, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, we're conditioned to like try to seek love through other people, but can we start with ourselves, please? When I made that shift, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is where it begins. And so get reacquainted with yourself, right? That part's so important. I'm a huge advocate for that. Just resonates soulfully. Beautiful. I love a general reading. Okay. So let's do general for you. And then, yeah, I'll do 2 more if there are 2 other people. Let me get to shuffling. And go from there, and let me know, like, do you have any specific goals? And this is just to anybody, whether you're live or watching the replay. You can share it in the comments. Like, this is an opportunity to start. Don't feel like you have to make a decision on that one thing. You know, you might need to sit with it for a minute. You might need to reflect on, like, it's in the summer. How did the summer go for you? What did you have set, what things did you have set in store, or did you want to focus on, or, did you miss the mark on in this season and in the summer season? And where are you in your life right now? And where do you want to be by spring? So for me, since I celebrate the new year, I consider the new year to be spring, the spring equinox. This is the halfway point for me, right? This is like fall equinox is the middle of the year for me, right? So whatever timeline you're on, just think about, okay, well, where do you want to be? But if your end of the year is January, where do you want to be by then? Or if you just want to focus on where you want to be by the end of the season, where do you want to be by then, right? So just something to think about. All right, general. Oh, you need this deck. Maybe switching it up on me, child. Something told me to bring this deck too. So I'm about to use this Ask Your Guides Oracle card set for you, Ray. I'm seeing water around you. And I'm hearing bath. So I don't know if like if you have recently taken a like a spiritual bath, or maybe you're needing one, or you need to be doing something like that. I don't know if you just recently had one, or have done a spiritual bath, or ritual around with water. But definitely do that, or be something about being intentional with the water, whether it's a tub or like being at the beach or the sand. But I'm definitely seeing more of like the beach and doing something that's very intentional. Also an offering. So I don't know, giving an offering for you already know who that's for or what that represents. So that's what I'm seeing right now for you, Ray, as far as the water and doing offering and ritual around water, and like being really intentional about that. And I don't know if you, and I'm hearing collecting sand. So if I don't know if you have some sand, or you need to be doing something with sand. If you have an altar, maybe having some sand on the altar, or just collecting a little bit of sand. It doesn't have to be a whole thing of it, but just have some of it to do some work with that. Or even to use that in a if you want to do like some sort of spiritual bath, or even like a foot bath or something like that, and you can put that sand in the water. That would be helpful for you. Sage the sand before you use it though, or do whatever cleansing. You can also mix the sand with salt, and do some energy work with some stones in the sand. Like that'll kind of come to you, adding some stuff in the sand before you add it to your bath, or whatever if you're doing it with, doing some altar work, or just doing some manifestation work, some healing work, even using it as a scrub. That is something that's what I'm seeing. Like you should be doing stuff with sand, like adding, I'm seeing all types of stuff you should be doing there. Oh, this is a beautiful card. Grace, Holy Spirit. And so it's interesting seeing this card and just the image of the bird, and then you have this person kind of leaping, jumping, and it's like extending themselves up and outward, like being opening yourself up to grace. Like it's almost like this aspect of being able to receive it. And so it's interesting. You can like it's easy. Like you can put stuff out, project stuff, but you need to focus more on like receiving. And I think that's what the bath and the sand and doing this will help you do. Oh, you did an offering. Okay. That's beautiful, including sand from the beach. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, this needs to be, you need to be bring some sand with you. You need to do something with the sand. And if you just recently did one, then you need do something with, then you need to be doing something with the sand. Because sometimes when I see stuff, the timeline of it, sometimes it's something that you just did or you need to do, or it was in a past life or a different timeline or in the future. Like it can vary. Then the sand part of doing some stuff with the sand and bringing that back with you, adding some stuff to it, or you can even do it while if you go back to the beach, then doing that stuff there. But I'm seeing you like adding some salt, some herbs, or doing some stuff with some crystals, and doing something with it first. And you're supposed to be doing something with the sand and the water. So did you already do some? Did you just collect sand? You did it on a different timeline. Okay. So yeah, so do the water, and the sand thing in this timeline. And this is about, and also like requesting to receive. It's about you receiving. It's almost like it's hard for you to receive. Well, less about being hard and more about being willing to receive. So that's what's coming up. Because in order to, you can't overgive. So I talked about in the collective reading to not overcommit, right? You also, when it comes to overgiving, and this is just also for you specifically, Ray, but then also just in general, a general concept, like overgiving. Sometimes you overgive to compensate for what you're not willing to receive. And it's like, you can't do that. And this isn't just about overgiving to people specifically, but even overgiving energy, overgiving your thoughts. What are you spending too much time giving your energy and thoughts to versus allowing yourself to receive guidance, allowing yourself to receive compliments, allowing yourself to receive peace, allowing yourself to receive joy and what that could look like for you, receive movement, receive the ideas, right? Like, and so that's different versus always let me think through this and let me project these thoughts out. But sometimes it's about allowing yourself to receive and connect, to do that. So I hope that was helpful. I'm sitting with and stopping overgiving. I'm working on receiving. Beautiful. So yeah, so that ritual and doing the work with the sand and doing the bath work or working with the water, going to the beach or in the bath, you can do both, either or both. That will help you with that. Let's see. How will my trip next week? I'm not sure what you're asking, Carlos. If you could rephrase your question. Are you asking like, how will your trip go next week? If you can give me a little bit of clarity on that. Okay, general reading. Ooh, I'm hearing nature spirit oracle for you. Nature spirit oracle. Ooh, I'm seeing a lot of books around you and notebooks and stuff. I don't know if you're journaling or writing or something, but I'm seeing that around you. And so I don't know if you're already doing that, if you've been thinking about doing that, but if you're not, then this is something to do, or if you're kind of doing and you're not like doing it consistently, then this is something to start making a practice of, like writing in books, doing something with writing. I'm seeing writing and I'm seeing like a bookshelf. So what is that? I'm seeing you writing. So I don't know are you writing a book? Are you writing a screenplay? Are you journaling? Whatever it is you're writing or reading, or writing and reading, continue to do it if you're doing it, but like create space for it to do it more, or now is the time to do it. Like this is like your confirmation to do it. Because I keep seeing both. I keep seeing this book and this bookshelf. It's almost like and also I don't know if you already have a bookshelf. I'm seeing like this it's like like it has two shelves, like a brown like two shelves thing. I don't know if you already have that, or if you have a bookshelf somewhere, but do some like cleanse your bookshelf. Go back through your books if you already have this, and kind of like clean your shelves, your bookshelves. I'm seeing like I don't know if you already have like a smaller bookcase, or maybe you need one, or I don't know if this, but I'm seeing like reorganize or do something, but you want to cleanse it, clean it out, reorganize the books. You can sage or Palo Santo, Florida water, whatever you're into. Good old pine oil, but it's time for you to like just clean and just read. Like this is about shifting the energy and kind of doing that and adding some stuff to the top. But it's like, I'm seeing that, and make this like your, just remember that it's like a sacred space is kind of what I'm seeing right now. Yes, I've been talking about getting back into reading and writing. Awesome. I receive it. Yes, I already have it. Oh, it's actually at my altar space. Beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's confirmation. Yeah, this needs to be like your sacred space. So definitely do that. And yeah, and I'm seeing I keep hearing somebody. This is like an ancestor or somebody coming in for you saying you got a book in you. You got a book in you. It's like at some point you're supposed to write a book. I don't know if and this doesn't have to be some 2,000-page novel, but someone is definitely, it's a woman's voice. This definitely feels, it's like an ancestor coming through for you right now. You have a book in you. Like there's something, there's a in this process of you actually doing the reading and writing, it's going to, if you haven't already had the inkling to about a book, or been getting the nudge around a book, or a playwright or something around that, um, then this woman is saying you have a book in you, and this is, it's almost like she feels like this feels like an aunt, or a grandmother, like a great aunt, great grandmother, something like that. She definitely feels more auntie vibes. She has a chill energy, very calming, but very much about her shit for sure. Like she's very she's the one that's actually guiding you. She's the one you're this is your guide, and this is she's part of your lineage, and she's the one. And I keep seeing these books of, like, I don't know, it's like a dark green book. I don't know if this is a journal or if this is a book that you have. It's like dark, like a dark forest green, or like or a dark burgundy or something like that. I don't know if this is a journal or a cover of a book that you already have, or that you might come across. For some reason, she keeps showing me this color, or maybe it's something you already have on your bookshelf or altar space. But I don't know why that keeps coming up. But just be mindful of that. Or maybe it's something. Maybe that's the book that you're going to actually write in for the thing. I don't know. I'm seeing a few different options there. But yeah, she's going to be coming forth. And yeah, she says light a candle for her sometimes. She be talking to you. I don't know if you be listening though, but she be around you, and she be around you. Yeah, light a candle for her sometimes. Sometimes she wants a little bit of water. Sometimes she's like, she's trying to claim her space on the altar. Okay, she is like, listen, okay, she's trying to set up shop, but she's like, come on now. So yeah, so you'll feel that nudge and that connection as you start to write and get into that. You'll feel her if you haven't already been doing that. And she's here. She's on my left side is where she's coming in. It's just like she's going to be that one that helps, that nudges you, that kind of gives you that inspiration, and you'll know when to light the candle. You know when to pour the water, and and this is about communing with your ancestors, right? Communing with her. Yeah, she's like, sometimes she just wants a little candle, a little recognition, She had a lot of status. She's very she gives me like very regal. Like I feel like I need to sit up a little bit, I need to put my best dressed on. Like she's giving boss vibes. I'm here for it too. I am here for it. You're spot on. So I need to add her picture to my altar. Oh, if you have a picture, that's even better. She is all around my house, but not on my altar. Yeah, she wants to be the altar space. She wants to be wherever the books are at. And she wants to be wherever the books are at. And there's something about this forest green and it's like dark burgundy. I don't know if that'll come up some way or another, but yeah, she wants to be around the books. Oh, come on. Look at this card. Do you see this? Ancient teachings. Do you see? If that ain't the confirmation, I don't know what is. Okay? Because she's here for you, the knowledge, okay, the lineage. Okay, she's gonna help you tell these stories. Okay, there's a story through your lineage you're gonna tell. Oh my gosh, I see you helping, like, I can really help some people too. That's all I'm saying. And for some reason, I keep seeing like a book or like a screenplay or a playwright. So I don't know if you're into plays or, and that this could be something that happens later on down the line. I don't know, but I'm seeing kind of both. It could go either way. And even something with like kids, young girls, or doing something with kids. Somehow the story can, or maybe a future book. I don't know. I'm seeing something with so kids and like youth is coming up as well. I don't know if you do reading workshops or you know of or something around that does that with kids or with youth, a youth program or a youth center or something that does that inspires reading and writing. But I'm seeing something like that too. Is what I'm saying. Come on now. You used to write plays when you was in high school. Well, here you go. Here you go. You about to get back into it then. There's opportunity for you there if you decide to go that way, but it can be very helpful whether it's you leading some workshops or helping with something. You'll know when it feels right. So don't feel like any pressure, like, oh, okay, I need to do this, but it'll flow for you kind of naturally. The green book I wrote in 2 years ago, it's full. I'm going to actually reread it because I named it the Book of Terror. Can I just faint? Come on now. Come on now. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Come on. That is amazing. That is amazing. It's the confirmation for me. It's the confirmation for me. You see how this is a co-creation? Because I be seeing stuff like, come on. Come on. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So you already know. You already know. You got what you needed. And definitely keep me updated. I love a good update. Because yeah, that green book kept coming up and that was gonna bother me. So I'm glad now we got to the bottom of the green book. I was like, they keep showing me this book. Why she keep showing me this book? But now we know. Yes, reread it and see what comes up. Oh, that's amazing. Whew. I hope you found that reading helpful. Let's see. Oh, you need my cash. Oh, I will drop it for you. I don't mind getting a little love, honey. My cash app is $Ujo Wadjet. That's my cash app. Okay, let's see. Hey, Samari, greetings, sis. Okay. Yes, you can get a reading. So you will be one. So I'm going to do yours. And Carlos, did Carlos ever respond back or no? And I'm going to answer your question too, Carlos. How will my trip be next week? How will your trip be next week? Carlos, it will depend. It will depend on what you're wanting to gain out of it. So what I'm seeing, Carlos, is what do you want to gain out of the trip? And that's the biggest thing. What do you want to gain out of the trip? What's one thing you want to gain out of it? Is it fun? Is it networking? Is it information? Is it, establishing a relationship with, with a new potential business partner or making new friends, or is it just having fun? Is it creating, right? It depends on what you want to get out of it is the first thing. And when it comes to, for some reason, I keep seeing restaurants. So I don't know what is the purpose. I keep seeing like stuff around restaurants and foods. I don't know if this is like you're going to an event that's involving a lot of like food or like tastings or something like that, or there's like a gathering or something that you're actually going to. But I'm seeing like it's more so about the conversation, the quality of the conversations that you're going to have while you're on this trip, and establishing and what comes out of those conversations. And we have the Five of Swords for you. And so in here, it's like, this is, be mindful of miscommunication or what's happening in these conversations. I don't know if this is happening over dinner or what's going on, but you want to make sure that what's being said versus what the other person is perceiving. And that goes both ways, you or the other person or people, to making sure that what you're saying, that they understand it in the way that you intend it to be. Because there could be some miscommunication that can lead to like getting the wrong perception of what you mean, and vice versa. That happens on both terms. So it's more so about like, what do you want the trip, when it comes to this trip, what is your end goal for it, and making sure that your communication is clear. So are you wanting to network? Are you wanting to create? I don't know why networking keeps coming up. So is it an opportunity to network, or is this something that you've been avoiding? Are you wanting to put yourself out there a bit more? Like, what is this? Because you want to make sure that it's clear. Oh, for love. Okay. So is this what I'm seeing, dinner? Like, are you meeting somebody out there? Because I keep seeing like stuff around food. So when it comes to this trip and something around like a relationship or establishing something with somebody new, or maybe you're wanting to hook up and have a good time, like, you don't want to be the person that is deceiving, and you don't want to be deceived either. So you want to come clear. You want to be clear about your intentions and about who you are, and vice versa, making sure that interaction is coming from a truthful and honest place. Because if not, it's going to end up in miscommunication. It's not going to end well. And focus on like the actual getting to know the person, and allowing yourself, like who are you, and how, and who are you in this, when it comes to meeting this person. You don't want to lie about who you are. You don't want to even like be like, try to do anything to make yourself more than what you are, and vice versa. So if you set the tone for that up front, then that will be better received versus wanting to like keep up appearances, and vice versa. So you want to let that guard down initially and present yourself truthfully and honestly, like from a place of vulnerability, but not putting yourself all the way out, like not like wearing your heart on your sleeve and putting all your business out there, but from being vulnerable, but leading with integrity. You want to lead with integrity, right? You don't want to dump everything on this person, but allow things to flow naturally. But if you come with integrity and being like, just like, this is who I am, and doing that from an honest place and being honest about your intentions, then you can avoid like the miscommunication. And even like when it comes to the keeping up appearances thing, because that's not going to work either. And so, yeah, so with the networking, so then that kind of makes sense, right? If you're going to meet someone, if you're going to meet someone specific, but there might be some other people that you come across as well, whether it's new friends or even like just even some casual dating. Like, I don't know if this is somebody that it could be a potential relationship, or if this is just casual first time meeting, but allow yourself to be more open to meeting other people while you're there. You're welcome. All right, she bout it. True, receiving the same. Awesome. Do you, she bout it, do you have a specific question or a general? Just let me know. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the love, y'all. I really don't. Y'all know I don't typically I don't ask for donations, but hey, if you asking, I'm receiving, child. I'm receiving. She about it. Are you still here, ma'am? Okay, yeah. Do you want general or do you have a specific question? General and general. Okay. Okay. Let me take a sip of water right quick. Okay. Oh, they're saying I need a whole nother deck for you. I gotta go get the other deck. Hold on. When they be like she needs this deck, I gotta go get the deck. I'll be right back. All right. So I'm using Wisdom of the Oracle for you. And I'm hearing peace of mind, peace of mind, peace of mind. And I keep wanting to just take these deep breaths. So it's like breathe, like don't forget to breathe. Just breathing, doing some deep breathing. Breathing techniques would be very helpful for you. Mm. We have happy, happy. What's interesting is what's actually happening in the card. So I don't know, is it focusing? I'm trying to get this to focus a bit better. So what's happening in the card? And the number 26 is sticking out as well. So 6 is 8. And like, because I'm seeing like that infinity symbol, right? And it's like happy, happy. It's like this looping. And but part of the looping is like, then I'm seeing this keyhole. It's like it's almost like looping around happiness versus being in happiness, being in joy. And to not forget that part. Don't forget to be in joy, not dancing around it, but in it. To be like to fill yourself with it. It's almost like sometimes you forget to you pull yourself out of it. Like it's like you're looking at the joy, you're looking at the happiness, you're looking at it, but you're forgetting to embody it, if that makes sense. So this is like almost like a reminder to to be in the things, to do the things that fill you with joy versus being around the things that fill you with joy. Around the things that make you happy or joyful versus embodying it. And I'm almost saying this, it's like you could be you can want something, you can enjoy something and be looking at it as an observer versus being on the field, so to speak. So the question I have for you is, what area of your life is this showing up? Where you're observing it, but you're not in it. So that's the first part of this. And the other part is to open yourself up to what this could look like for you moving forward. Like there's more opportunities for you to find the things that excite you, find things that inspire you. Do more of that. Like where is that? Explore that more, because that is also going to ignite some new ideas and thoughts for you. And it's almost like I keep seeing the loop. I keep seeing the loop. It's like almost like on autopilot. And now it's time to like do something completely different. Try a new mode. Maybe I know that you dance, right? As a dancer, maybe trying another modality of dance, something that something, a complete different style of dance, and exploring that and seeing, because that's going to just awaken other things. Maybe it's doing something with art and trying that. But like that's kind of what I'm seeing of like finding new ways to find that spark. So this would be a great opportunity for you to start like exploring those things. I tend to work hard at my event while everybody's enjoying themselves versus enjoying myself. Okay. So yeah, it's time for you to be the one enjoying yourself, right? And so and at your events, right? So maybe after this event, you start to find things where you can be the one, where you can start to have the capacity to be the one that's enjoying, right? Even if that means you're going to someone else's event, you're doing something else, right? Because sometimes when you have to facilitate an event or to host, it could be hard for you to find those pockets. I would encourage you to try to find that in this event that you have, which is, I believe, is tomorrow, and allow yourself to explore other ways to be in joy versus observing other people enjoying themselves. You have a little anxiety about being on the mic. So that's probably where the breathing was coming in. And just remember the messaging, what that represents, you being the host. You set the tone, right? You set the environment, and what's the vibe that you want to bring. So just think about it as an energetic vibration, and that the words that you're speaking are going to help with that. So just think about it from that point of view. Think about the person that might be afraid, that like maybe that's their first time coming to your event or whatever, or they're wanting to, whatever they want to do. Maybe they're afraid, maybe they're feeling insecure. What's something that they would need to hear? What was that version of you, right? However many years ago, and what's something that you wish you would have heard or you would have liked to hear, and maybe you can put that out there during your event as the host. So just something to think about. I hope that was helpful. So you learn to be and allow yourself ways to explore ways to be in joy again versus observing it. So it's time to break out of the loop. I hope that was helpful. Let's see. Thank you so much, Ujo. You definitely put things into perspective for me with readjusting my foundation during this time and came through with some amazing confirmation. Much gratitude to you. Thank you so much for allowing me to and trusting me to share some insights and so you can receive those confirmations. Thank you so much. I feel like I need to have a whole speech ready, but I just want to give everybody a great experience and want to empower others. Allow it to come from the heart. You can have some key points as far as like logistics and making sure that there's certain things that you mentioned, like, those key things, have some bullet points and allow everything else to flow. Okay. So you want to have like the logistics of the flow of the event, your housekeeping stuff, making sure, your kind of advertisement and how people can connect with you. But everything else, like share a part of your story and what inspired you to start this in the first place, and what this represents to you. Allow that to come from your happy place, right? Because there's something that got you to wanting to do this in the first place. So go back into that time so remember, be in happiness, be in it, be in joy. And you can find that and talk about that. Talk about what inspired you to start this in the first place, and everything else will flow. but have some bullet points so in case while you're talking that you don't forget those main important things. Okay. So a general from Miss Shakila, and then I will wrap things up from here. All right. Oh, wisdom of the oracle for you too. Okay, wisdom of the oracle for you too, general. Hmm. I'm seeing plants around you. I don't know if you have plants in your home or if you've been wanting to do something with plants or like herbs or something. Plants and herbs. But I'm seeing that. And I'm hearing nourishing the soil, nourishing the soil, nourishing the soil. So what does nourishing the soil represent for you? Ooh. This card just jumped out as soon as I said that, soulmates. And it's interesting, we have 41, which is 5. And 5 can mean, changing things up, like lots of change. And the theme for this, for fall equinox, is what was I talking about? Like the foundational, right? The foundation, laying the foundation, adjusting the foundation, right? There's something for you about nourishing the soil. So the plants that are coming up, like, so I don't know if you have plants in your house. If you have a lot of plants, you've been wanting plants or like an herb garden or something like that, or something where you're actually physically nourishing the soil. But I see like these herbs and plants around you. So it's like a representation of that. And I don't know if you're like if you have this type of thing, like what you're doing with the soil. So there's an opportunity for you to actually do like some energy work, some manifestation work, some healing work with soil. Like I'm seeing your hands actually in the soil, like connecting with it. And having like a plant, like a specific plant that kind of represents this soul connection. So and you actually have this soul connection with soil and with the earth. Like that's like your element. Earth is like your main element, and you have a lot of like healing modalities around that. So it's like nourishing the soil and what that represents for you, not just in this physical realm, but also like energetically and emotionally. So yeah, like I'm seeing you like when you're wanting to do even some work around love or high vibrational energy, and you have like this pot of or this soil that you have for that, and then you have this some soil where it's around like healing, releasing like energy that no longer serves you, so you can transmute that. Like I'm seeing you kind of like doing that. If you're not already, that's an opportunity. So it's almost like instead of having like doing like a spiritual bath, like this is like your spiritual bath. It's like having your hands in the soil or even your feet in the soil, if that makes sense. Like you're burying your feet in it. You could put crystals in that. So I was talking about earlier in a previous reading with like herbs and adding stuff to the soil. I mean, to water, or I think it was sand that I mentioned before, but I'm seeing like this soil being very much your thing for you to like that's where you a lot of healing work can happen for you, or that you can use for yourself or with other people. Wait, hold on. Let me scroll down. Okay. So you work with herbs. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is so beautiful. Because you are very much a root doctor, honey. You did not know that. Yes, I was in the yard with my shoes off grounding. Oh, that's beautiful. So yeah, so don't forget your hands. Don't forget your hands, and to completely bury yeah, like put your hands in the soil, like, and have a pot that you can, yeah, that you're using for that to do, whether it's love, like you could use it for whatever you feel intuitively guided to do or to use it for. But don't forget your hands is what I'm seeing, and to do some to have your hands like submerged in the soil. I see like a specific pot that you have to do this. And you can mix other things in this. So since you work with herbs, you can add other herbs to this soil. And I don't know if you work with, if you work with clients, if you have clients, this is something, if you're not already doing something like this is actually like a technique or a modality that you can use with some of your clients when it comes to transmuting energy or kind of releasing some of that whatever attention or stuff they have going on energetically. Because I see like, so like you work with herbs, but you're like, you do energy work. Like that's part of your, like what you do, like, but just your modality is with herbs and like earth like things. And you can do that with the soil. Does that make sense? Like that's something you can do. Like it's, and I see you doing that. So try it with yourself, try it with whoever you feel led to kind of do that with. Start with you though. But I'm seeing that. I don't know if it almost even like mud packs. This can even be like mud packs that people can put in their hands, right? Because we have portals in our hands here, right? So it's almost like making almost like mud packs, and they can have that in their hands too, and that can have the soil and the herbs in it. So I'm seeing that, like hands submerged in the soil. You can use this with people to make these kind of mud packs, and it can sit like in their hands, maybe for meditation. You can try this with yourself. You can add crystals, herbs, whatever you want to add in there, but that's definitely like your thing. Like I see you doing that, and this is actually something from a past life. And maybe that's why the soulmate thing is also coming up. So this is something like you've done this before. I'm telling you, you were a root doctor. It's not the first time. Like, child, you know, like material and how to actually dissect like the energy from like physical things. Like that's part of what you have the natural aptitude to do that because of your soul energy. Like just that's what you have the natural aptitude to do from your previous experiences, and that's kind of coming up. So even like the work that you're doing now, that there's so much more you can do with it. And yeah, so that's definitely the route that you can definitely go with that. So just explore that. Yeah, you can definitely do the mud packs for the palms. You can do it for the feet, and that can really help a lot of people. I really see you helping people like with anxiety, people that have that really deal with anxiety, and like they almost there's another word, like they don't know, like they need to find that sense of calm. Like they're always like their mind is racing all the time. I really feel like you can help them like get like with grounding themselves. And this is a way that you can kind of introduce that. And it's like, and who's doing that, right? I don't know. I've never, I don't know, but I feel like this is definitely right up your alley. I've seen these cute, like you can make these pouches. I'm seeing you make these like pouches. You can even do it with like little mojo bags, and you're putting stuff in there. You can customize it. It's really just really beautiful how you can actually do this. I definitely see this being something that can just add to what you're already doing if you're already working with clients or things like that, or with friends, family, whoever. So yeah, but I definitely see for you specifically putting your hands in the soil, for your own work. And this is also a way for you to infuse the work that the things that you're adding into the mud packs, or the bags or whatever. Like that's how you can infuse some of the work. And this is also how you can you read with your hands, if that makes sense, right? So you like when you hold, it's what's the word, like psychometry, So when you pick up on stuff, right, that's how you pick up the information from it. But it's less of it's not even just about the energy that's on it. So like, I can do psychometry work. I can pick up something and like pick up on, some of the energy that's still kind of on this item, but you can actually go a lot deeper into it, on like an elemental level, and on like like breaking it down on an elemental level, and how this can, if it's something that's right for somebody else, like you can actually break it down. That's like really one of your strengths, if you weren't already aware of how deep you can go. And one of my strengths is actually helping people develop their intuitive abilities. Like I can kind of see like how you can amplify it, where your strengths are. So that's one of my strengths, and that's how I'm able to like break this down in this way, because I'm seeing like what you can do. Like, so if you're not doing, like, there's so much more you could be doing with the work, and I know it can help a lot of people. So, and I know I'm dumping a lot on you right now, but yeah, there's a lot more you could be doing, and your hands are very vital to that. And same thing with your feet, right? And being able to, like, how you sense and pick up information, but you can break it down like on an elemental level, and being able to pull out the modalities that other people need to heal their anxiety. Anxiety is the big thing that keeps coming up. But there's other things too. So, whew. I hope that was helpful. I just gave you so much. Well, let me scroll. This really resonates. I can look like little antennas or ears. Little, like, you can feel little antennas or hairs on the arm standing. Yes, come on. Feel right. Good. I thought about going to school for Reiki. Yeah, you could. You can definitely. I feel like Reiki is a great like foundation, but you're gonna find your own modality. And yeah, you're gonna find your own modality. You take what you learn from Reiki, and then you're gonna take it and make it your own. And that's actually going to ignite some memories in how you do energy work. And I mentioned it earlier on. You already do energy work. You just don't realize that you're doing it, and how to cut, and how to like actually like refine your process. But going through it like a traditional Reiki class can definitely help you with understanding how, like, a system. And it's like, oh, this is this system. And then you're going to realize, oh, well, this doesn't work for me, or this does, or, oh, this reminds me of this. And that can lead you to a thing. And I know that from personal experience. I have a few different Reiki certifications, but I was like, okay, this is great. But I was like, oh, I'm being led to this in this other way, and how I do things. And that's how I kind of created my own energy, like, process, and how I do energy healing. But it's a great, and there's nothing wrong with Reiki. I think it's great, right? But you definitely have your own like process, but it can definitely help you. And just learning another system is always going to be beneficial. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you. And keep me posted on the mud. I'm telling you, like, oh my gosh, because I don't know who's doing that, but I'm just like, oh, this is that's so good. Oh, the mud packs. Okay, there was someone else. Yes, you can. Listen, I said I was going to do 3 readings, and I've been doing more because I love doing this stuff. I really do. Got it. Okay, beautiful. Yes, Samari, you can get a general reading. You can get a general reading. All right. So good. Oh. All right. What do you need? Okay, you need this one. The decks are active tonight. The decks are very active tonight. It's interesting how, like, the decks talk to me. So they'd be like, oh, she needs this one. Oh, do this one. This one. Do this one, do this one. I'm like, okay, no, take this deck. She needs this deck. Like, okay. Oh, we got jumpers. We got jumpers for you. Daffodil, trust in your power. Ocean, life, death, and rebirth. Oof. I feel like you already know instantly what this represents for you. And what's coming up is in order for you to fully, like these two go hand in hand. You trusting in your power automatically creates a death, the death of the aspect of yourself that does not trust. The more you trust, the more of that part of yourself dies, right? And the more you actually get to live in your full potential. This isn't something that happens instantly. This is an ongoing process. It continues to grow and build. It's like a snowball effect, right? So the more that you trust, the more that you start to shed those aspects of yourself that have been holding you back from that trust and from you like owning and really utilizing your power. And that's how you start to build the momentum. So it's going to come in stages. It's not going to be, oh, okay, I want to trust myself. And then all of a sudden you trust yourself 100,000%. It's going to come in stages. It's going to come over time. It's going to continue to build, right? It's going to just keep building momentum. So just keep that process going. And you will start to see the areas that you need to let go of. People that get released from your life. Decisions that you make and how you start to move will start to change. The more you, and you'll continuously get like the confirmation, the more that you trust, doubt will still be there, right? But then you start to question the doubt. It's like, okay, why am I doubting this about myself? Or what's, where is this coming from? Start to question it, lean into it. Because then that'll help to start to dismantle. It'll help to start to dismantle the things that need to die. So you can continue to become and build more of this within yourself. And it's about using your power. You already know that you have it. You already believe it's there, but you don't need to convince, excuse me. You don't need to convince other people. Because especially other people that like, it's not about convincing people. The people that know will know, but this is about you knowing and you owning it. It's about ownership and allowing this cycle, allowing and accepting this cycle. And yeah, just own it. That's the main thing. Own it, and do it. Own the thing, do the thing. And that's it. The only way out is through and to do. That is it. Yeah. This reminds me, like, this is one of the first cards I ever pulled from this deck. And I made like this this powder for self-consideration, and I used daffodils for it as a reminder, right? So I did like some candle work around this to like reinforce. So that's something you can do as well. What is your environment looking like to where, how can you reinforce the trust that you already have? How can you reinforce standing and owning what you already know is true? That's the part right there. Reinforcing it. And that goes back to the cycle. So you want to reinforce this. Through that reinforcement, that's part of the process. So I hope that was helpful. Because you already know this is about just owning it, doing it, and showing up. And let's see, there was someone else. Hey, Buddha. Greetings, greetings. Have a good night, Shaquila. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, Shauna. Okay, this will be my last one, and then I will wrap up. I will wrap up after this one. Oh, you need a different deck. Different deck for you. All right. So let me know how y'all are feeling about this upcoming fall equinox and kind of going into fall 2022, the autumn reset. This is the opportunity. We have 1 week left as I'm doing this video. But no matter when you're watching this, if you're catching the replay, like, it's time to reset. It's time to reestablish your foundation, and definitely catch the beginning. And I'll timestamp this later. All right, general. Treasure Island. And what I'm hearing is to find your island. You need to find it. What is that? What does that mean for you, right? And part of this is like finding the gifts that you have and the treasure that you have within yourself. Let me see. Okay, so you can kind of see. So we have a turtle, a tortoise, right? And they're carrying these treasures on their back. I'm trying to like adjust this so you can see the image. But this is about you tapping into what's already within you. The island is within you. The treasure is within you, right? It's about you tapping into that. So where is that, and what have you been doing or not doing that's been either holding you back from connecting to that aspect of yourself more, or to utilizing what you already know is there? What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are you being called to do? This is the opportunity for you to start to lean into that more. Because that's where the manifestation is going to happen, right? When you start to lean into your abilities, into your gifts, into your talents. And this kind of goes back to the overall theme of the foundational work. What is that work for you? What does that look like for you? Are you avoiding it? If so, why? Follow the nudges that you get. Follow the things that you enjoy as well, right? Like, what are the things that you're naturally good at? And maybe you don't even know that you're good at some of these things. You'll start to get the confirmation as you continue to explore it. So this isn't something that you seek outside of yourself. It's something that's within you. And then you get confirmed outside of yourself through other people, through synchronicities, through dreams, through signs, and you'll start to notice that. So that is your reading. This card is beautiful. And I'm also hearing don't forget to, I'm hearing something around water for you as well. Water's been coming up a lot today. So I don't know if you're not drinking enough water and you're not allowing yourself to kind of be the essence of water. Like, the essence of water is flow, right? More clarity, connecting with your emotions, releasing emotions. That's another thing that could be in the way of you connecting with this aspect of yourself. So allow yourself to kind of do that as well. So I hope that was helpful. All right, so that was the last reading for the evening. It has been a pleasure. I covered the overall theme for the fall equinox, and then I pulled a card for the beginning, the middle, and the end. And so just to recap on that, we had the heart chakra was the chakra for this season. And the theme was the Knight of Pentacles. And I can't find the card right now, but basically what that represents is you want to override you want to set the foundation, right? This is about the foundational work, the things, because the fall is all about, that's the beginning of the distractions that's going to carry you into the spring, right? There's all these things that happen going from fall and even going into winter. And this is the opportunity. This is the time to start doing the foundational work. And so that Nine of Pentacles, here we go, paired with the heart, the reminder here is you need to override what you feel like doing with what you know you need to do, committing to one thing and doing that consistently, because it's not about what you feel like you should do. It's like, okay, what you know you need to do to get to that what you truly desire, the end goal, right? The end desire, the bigger desire versus the just what you feel like doing from day to day. You might not feel like waking up 30 minutes earlier, but you know that in order for you to reach that specific goal, you need to have 30 minutes of self-care, or you need to save that extra $10 a month, or whatever it is, right? So it's not about what you feel like doing, but it's about what you know that you need to do. So you want to override that, and that's the biggest thing. And if you want to catch the other cards, then be sure to catch the replay. It has been a pleasure sending you good vibes for this fall equinox, this autumn reset 2022. And if you like this video, be sure to like the video, like it if you liked it. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do that. And you can also connect with me on Instagram. And if you're interested in a private reading, I have a sale going on right now. The link is in my bio. You can find it on my website. That sale ends at the end of Virgo season. It's a Virgo special. You don't have to be a Virgo for that, but that's available. And other than that, you can find me, connect with me on YouTube as well as Instagram. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.